Welcome back to the league that means nothing on Go Again Gaming.
Hello and welcome back to the league that means nothing, round 6 here on the As Go Again Gaming channel. Today's cast is going to be hosted by myself and Finley from the Cup of TCG YouTube channel. Finley, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, thanks. Filling in for Carl this time.
Yeah, Carl's got a little bit of annual leave that he had to use up before the end of the year here at Cover TCG. So the boys are filling in, and today we have a Verdance mirror in round 6 of the league that means nothing. So we're going to get straight into the game, as we think it might be a slightly longer one.
We have Ryan on the left and Guillermo on the right.
Very nice, and we have a couple of definitely invested Earth players here with a Germinate Matt and a Verdance Matt. So these guys liking the Earth heroes, definitely. We've got a couple of different weapons on either side of the board here. Waning Moon on Ryan Debling's side and Surgeon Aethertide on Guillermo's side.
And it's also worth noting that this is pre the Plume of Evergrowth ban, so we can expect to see some easier to execute combos in this game, I think.
Yeah, for sure. The headpiece from both players are going for the same equipment setup all the way down. The pajamas in the chest slot, and an early Rampant Growth life hitting the bin for Ryan here, which is, I'm sure, something you'd like to see in this matchup.
Yeah, I imagine the Verdance Mirror is very much a matchup that can be decided in deck registration, right? Who brings the most tech? Who's ready for it?
For sure.
The Aethertide seems like a very scary card to be facing down as the Waning Moon player. Do you think that Waning Moon being presented here just means that you have to play more aggressively? Is the Aethertide player going to dawdle?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I imagine that Ryan will still be on healing pots in this matchup. Maybe sort of like a half and half combo where you get to do a smaller combo, or a Rampant Growth life in opening hands from both players here. So 41 apiece to start the game, and big spells hitting the graveyards as well. So these Plume of Evergrowths very much online early.
And we do have a counter on Guillermo's Alluvian Constellus. I remember.
Yeah, I think we're probably about to start talking about the same thing here, right? The Icelander mirror was often decided by how you played into and around Alluvian Constellus.
Yeah, see, I was going to say Kano versus Icelander. So, not quite the same. But yes, this legendary wizard chess piece is really, very interesting in the wizard mirrors, and sometimes against Viscera, I guess.
Which weapon do you think is more powerful to be discounted by the Alluvian Constellus, however?
Well, if you Alluvian Surgeon Aethertide, you could do a full combo completely pitchless, which seems really powerful. But Waning Moon is, I guess, the tempo weapon. I'm not particularly well versed in this matchup, but being able to just chip in a load of free arcane whenever a spell is cast is going to be very strong. It looks like both players are going for the passive approach, though, and only going to heal. Oh no, we have a power.
Yeah. It is going to come in for 2, however, as the first decompose of the game. How important do you think it's going to be to get online quickly in this matchup?
That's a really good question. I think, obviously, 6 there. That's not quite right. Well, hopefully that becomes 2. I would say coming online as quickly as possible might not be the most important thing. It really depends if you were going for like a stack that involve your Heartbeats of Candlehold, or if you're being the tempo player, right? If you're the tempo player, coming online as quickly as possible really matters. If you're the combo player, you're probably going to second cycle anyway, or at least close to. So maybe coming online quickly matters less.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder if, we saw an E-Strike pitched early from Ryan, right? I wonder if that was specifically because that was just the card he needed to pitch in the hand, or whether he's setting up for an aggressive early second cycle, maybe.
Yeah. I'd also go as far as to say that I bet Ryan's feeling pretty happy that he sees a plow underpresented already, because if you were trying to set up a combo or a finisher, Plow Under is probably like the bane of your existence, right? Because
Yeah,
you
definitely.
lose these key components. There's also this other factor with the Wizard Mirrors that the first person to pop Storm Striders obviously loses to Arcane Barrier, which does
Yeah,
leave them
true.
open to being Storm Striders in response. Yeah, tricky
Yeah, for
Wizards.
sure. Burn Bear here from Ryan, a nice chunky arcane spell, but another opportunity for Guillermo to arcane barrier and get a counter on the Illuvian Constellus.
It's going to be really interesting to see how often AB4 is actually utilised, because if Ryan was going to present a Waning Moon after this, you would happily pitch 2 blues, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and it would be like very clean. But over pitching is is not a great value proposition here. So it looks like we're only doing the AB3, and life is back at parity.
Yeah, the AB3 makes sense, right? Getting the Illuvian Constellus and Ryan, Guillermo probably hedging a little bit that Ryan is going to Arsenal that last card. So 41 apiece here, 2 counters on Guillermo's Illuvian Constellus and an early decompose already as well. So depending on the game plan, we're still very, very early on in this game. No one's dipped below 40 yet, but looking pretty good for Guillermo here.
Oh, and there's a Heartbeat of Candlehold going into the pitch stack. I'm sure we'll be seeing that later.
Yeah, for sure. Command and Conquer. This is before Light Up the Leaves, I'm going to guess. So 3 cards committed to the block here. Ryan may be happy to fill his bin early, but Command and Conquer, a card that's almost becoming contentious for Verdance players, right? Now that you have all of this chunky arcane damage that sometimes you'd rather send face than a CNC.
Yeah, I think a lot of decks currently are quite happy to block Command and Conquer, but if Ryan has been caught on a load of D-Reacts, obviously it would have been good.
Yeah, for sure.
The High Seas Amulet coming out here, so now we know that despite being on Waning Moon, Ryan is going to be on the Potion package. We can expect to see the 3 healing pots coming out at some point.
So in theory, right, the big difference between these equipment/weapon setups is that Ryan can potentially do a little bit of a combo on Guillermo's turn, right? Where with rampant growths and fruits, etc., with Storm Striders and Waning Moon. However, Guillermo's kind of priced in to doing his combo on his turn with the investment of the Surgeon Aphatide.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually. Yeah, the Waning Moon much better in the opponent's turn, Surgeon Aphatide not being able to be activated at all. It is interesting that I said I thought Ryan would be going for a tempo game plan, and it doesn't seem like it. So maybe it's just going to be slow all round.
Yeah, potentially. If that is the case, the slower game plan, with the Waning Moon does seem slightly weaker. We've got another decompose here with our first felling of the crown of the game resolved. I think that's 5 earth cards in the banish for Guillermo, and bottoming a card of his own. Potentially beneficial, maybe, if you're trying to put an important card in the pitch stack, but not ideal, I suppose.
And only 5 block on the side of Ryan here, so taking a bit more damage. I don't know if you found this, but I played a bit of Florian, and what I found in Florian Mirrors is that, and this may be crazy, is that I kind of prefer to be the player that finds their fellings last, because they're more impactful as you get into the second cycle when life totals get low. It's
100%.
Yeah, another interesting aspect. And Cadaverous Tilling, your ideal first decompose as an Earth hero.
Yeah, for sure. So there's even like a consideration, right, to overpitch fellings and cards of the like into the stack in these longer, slower matchups to potentially even pair next to cards like E-Strike later down the line to really push life totals lower.
I'm really interested to see if either player has presented root bounds in this matchup.
Yeah, I was going to mention this when we spoke about how quickly you would like to decompose, but it feels like you can get slightly caught out, right? If your opponent goes for a load of chunky spells.
Heartbeat of Candlehold blocked with seems like, I'm not too experienced in the matchup, but you'd think that'd be a card you'd be reticent to block with. See a healing potion hit the board, so we're at healing potion parity too.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe there's a consideration to look out for the third heartbeat for Guillermo, right? He's we sent one to the bottom, one into the graveyard. Is a target for Plume, but likely not the target that we're looking for. But we'll see where that third one comes up.
We really must be careful to see if we can track any arcane compliances going round, because I imagine they could be a real decider in this matchup.
And a rampant growth hitting the pitch here for Ryan. So we are definitely in it for the long haul. We'll see if this is a second cycle game or potentially even a third cycle game. But what do you think you are happier to be doing in this situation? Do you think you're happier to be sending these taller attacks, or do you think the arcane damage is more beneficial?
Well, it's interesting because in the first cycle, I imagine both players will be clearing a lot of reds out of their deck, which would make me say that it may be better to present more arcane earlier, because their hands are more likely to be red flooded.
True. Wonder if there's say Ryan still no counters on his Alluvia Constellus, and possibly due to the fact that Guillermo is just presenting physical damage so far. E-Strike, let's see the mode on this one. 5. I'm going to assume go again with 2 cards in the hand. Nice early play, like you said, to get these reds out of the deck. And Ryan is presenting a Rootbound here.
That must feel pretty good, getting it out nice and early, as I said.
So I believe Ryan is online already, right? 2 Cadaverous Tillings and a Rootbound. I think Guillermo is 1 Decompose behind. Let's see if the final Decompose is about to hit the board on Chainlink 2.
Yeah, it does seem pretty early, right? It is interesting that the choice of Aethertide for Guillermo has made Ryan's choice of Alluvian Constellus look much worse, right? Because there will just be less arcane being presented over time.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and the Guillermo's own Tilling. Are both players online now?
It looks to be the case, yeah. So a nice triple Earth Decompose. So both players online. We didn't waste any time doing that. However, the life totals are still very high. Ryan's still looking at 3 cards in hand. So should he decide that he's going to keep his life total high and block a load, he can. However, maybe this is more. He's determining it to be more important to impact Guillermo's life total.
The fact that neither of these heroes can present any armor does mean that turns like E-Strike Go Again into Felling are almost guaranteed to leak damage. You've got to imagine that although we have seen a Rootbound from Ryan, they're not going to be on the full suite of D-Reacts.
Yeah, and 5 into 8, even though it's like I say, only 1 over the expected blocking value of most fab hands, the breakpoints or the odd breakpoints of 5 into 8 doesn't make it easy to block.
Burn Bear and another Rootbound going in. Burn Bear obviously does equate to some guaranteed damage in this matchup, although when it's AB4, it's a lot less than usual.
So Ryan took 2 there, so that was a red Rootbound that's not decomposing. I was wondering whether there was a consideration to be on just the yellows.
And we see a CNC coming in from Ryan, not threatening an Arsenal. Kind of a sad feeling, but maybe if you lock Guillermo on some D-Reacts, you're not unhappy.
And like you said earlier, right, it's a case of getting these red cards out of the deck.
Yeah.
What do you think about Ryan's choice to send this CNC rather than block with an extra card, leave it in the arsenal?
It's tricky. I suppose if you are on healing pots, you want to get them out in first cycle. So if you have a hand where you draw 2 healing pots, you really want to have your arsenal open so one of them you can establish one and arsenal the other. It's difficult to say. Again, I feel that Ryan should be the player pushing a tempo-based game plan because he doesn't have Aethertide. So I think sending the CNC seems correct to me.
Yeah, for sure. Ponder here going to help Guillermo get 1 card deeper into the deck, ever so slightly quicker than Ryan. And we're going to reach for the Alluvia Constellus here. An opportunity for Ryan to get a counter on his own, but is this a trap? And Ryan says, no, I'll happily take the the Constellus.
Commonly, of course, Verdance player presents Illuvian Constellus, and they are secretly really hoping you will AB, because an attack will follow up and you'll only extract one value from your blue.
Yep, and this time Ryan is ever so slightly rewarded. We have got both modes on Pulsing Aether Life, as there's no Waning Moon. Ryan getting the opportunity to AB1 on the Verdance ping, and potentially full cover the Pulsing Aether Life, right, with that AB4.
Yeah. Oh, and it is full covered, so there we go. That's the first use of AB4 I think we've seen.
Yeah. I think we might have had a turn 0 AB4 from Guillermo potentially, but yeah. So an impactful one being that it is at a point in the game that Ryan managed to get six value in mitigation from those two blues,
and it does make your pit, like if you are trying to pitch stack a big combo, it does make it much easier if you get to pitch your heartbeats and stuff to the AB.
So this is the third burn bear here, I believe. Right, hitting the graveyard.
I think so.
So Ryan is, like we said, prior to Light Up the Leaves being legal in the game, Burn Bear is the biggest spell Verdance has, and all of them are now gone.
Now this looks like a nasty turn for Ryan to be presenting Arcane, CNC and Cadaverous Tilling pitch to present 2 of the 4. Surely those cards are going to come around in the pitch stack and be a real brick on that turn cycle.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the Michael Hamiltons of the world would see that pitch stack and no, that's 2 cards away from the bottom. You know, I'll be popping off on that turn cycle.
Yeah. The second Felling the Crown for Guillermo here. I believe we haven't had one from Ryan, right? We've just had Cadaverous Tilling. So let's see if your theory earlier about being favoured in the Felling War if you resolve them later is true.
I mean, it certainly felt that way as Florian, but the Florian match is a little different to this one. We're not ending with a massive Arcane combo.
Yeah. Wonder if it is maybe ever so slightly greedy to attempt to resolve Fellings in a second cycle. Maybe you might just die before you get there.
Yeah. I suppose if life totals do stay high, Verdance is not going to be punished for saying no blocks as well, and just pop off with the Illuvian Constellus. Oh, and here we have Ryan's first Felling. I feel like we must be like at least halfway through the decks, and we've only seen 1 potion from either player. So I wonder if we're going to have the fabled 3 potion hand for someone to navigate. That's going to be exciting.
A bit clumpy, yeah.
Now, can you Stormstride as a potion?
And if it's a wizard potion, I believe you could, but I don't believe they are, right?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe someone will discard a sea legs to give a potion go again.
Yeah. Maybe there's a time snap potion amongst the other potions in the deck.
We have another root band here with no decompose. It is interesting because the red root bands in this matchup, I guess you are just guaranteed that Verdance is going to send a number of 0 for 7s or 3 for 8s, right, in Felling and E-Strike. Oh, and the final Felling.
It's just been consecutive Fellings for Guillermo in these last couple of turn cycles.
Now, Everbloom Life is a card we're not seeing resolved but pitched here. Does this card have more significance in this matchup than just cycling itself, healing 1 and pinging 1 with the Verdance trigger?
I suppose depending on the stage of the game and depending on the rest of the hands, you could put cards like we quite often see Pulsing Aether Lives and things like that go to the bottom of decks as well, right? So maybe that ends up being a target. You quite often see E-Strikes going to the bottom in a way to help close out games. And Ryan is going to resolve one here himself, actually, so maybe slightly prophetic there in your topic.
Oh, and Ryan has the wrong Verdance token there to represent his Verdance trigger.
Now tell me, Finley, which is the right Verdance token? This is where you say the head.
We all know.
Yeah.
Now, is Everbloom Life a target? Lovely. The Fabry overlay. I have to tilt my head to read that.
It's a choose, I believe.
Okay. So it can't be fizzled with Passover.
I believe that was an E strike heading back to the bottom of the deck there,
Yeah,
right?
classic choice. Classic choice.
So on the previous turn, we saw the felling come in, the last felling from Guillermo come into attack Ryan, and Ryan blocked it with an E strike and a command and conquer. So, like you said earlier, an easy way to get a couple of reds out of the deck, but maybe Ryan hoping to have kept a grip there to resolve E strike into CNC.
Yeah, I mean, especially as soon as you notice that the opposing Verdance is on these D-Reacts, I imagine the value of actually playing CNC does go up a little.
Yeah.
Thinking about
Maybe
the
trying
Aether
to steal cards out of the hand before resolving the CNC, maybe with like a heartbeat and some Verdance pings or whatever it is. Maybe a little combo you can do.
Mirrors like this, obviously, both Earth Heroes really are a war of attrition, and tracking your own power cards is quite the acquired skill in Fab, I'd say. It's really hard to know as you play through these mirrors, like, well, how many heartbeats can I afford to put in my graveyard before a combo turn or before I'm trying to rip tempo in the late game.
Yeah.
We are seeing both players' rampant growths go round into second cycle, apart from the ones they played on turn 0.
Yeah. So Ryan, a player we are very familiar with, one of the Cup of TCG lot, and has played his fair number of Guardian mirrors in the past. So we know he's a pitch stack aficionado, as he likes to tell us. I wonder if how good he is at tracking the opponent's pitch stack at the same time.
Oh, I was hoping that would be a potion, but alas.
Oh, an E strike go again into a pot. That'd be nice, eh?
I imagine you really are punished if your opponent Plowlanders a potion. So
yeah,
I'm not sure if you would go for the Arsenal, despite it obviously being more value across turn cycles. Destructive Aether Tide hitting the bin.
Ryan getting a slightly sizable life lead here, a bigger life lead than we've seen for the rest of the game. It's been very, very even. Let's see what Guillermo's return is. I'm sure maybe we've caught him on one of these double potion hands.
Yeah. You know, we put a great deal of emphasis at the start on how impactful Alluvian Constellus is in the Wizard Mirrors, and so far, we've not felt it, I'll say. We've had one activation from Guillermo, and I'm not sure if Ryan has activated Alluvian Constellus. Maybe all the arcane spells just are destined for the second cycle. Although we've seen all Burn Bears, so...
True, but like you say, it does enable you to be on that AB4, right, and have the free weapon activation, maybe when it matters most in the game, right at the very close.
Ring of Roses. Obviously, this is a very impactful card in the Verdance deck. I've rolled my eyes plenty of times when this is presented turn 0.
Yeah.
I imagine Guillermo's pretty happy to be the first player to establish it in this matchup. Interesting
to still be holding 2 cards here, right? Though resolving this Ring of Roses, because you could have potentially Sergeant Aether Tide into the Ring of Roses, but just going to hold 2 cards. It's not like you can pitch to a Waning Moon.
Well, what if this is the 4 potion hand? Ooh, Rampant Growth hitting...
the stack?
Hitting the stack.
Going to be asking the question of Ryan to commit some Arcane Barrier here. Ryan happy to do so because the first Arcane damage dealt, as we know, will trigger that Ring of Roses. And another Verdance ping here, going to be mitigated, I'm sure, by this Arcane Barrier.
Yeah. Oh, although only 2? The Verdance ping was for 3, right? Or am I... Did I misunderstand that? Rampant Growth responding with fruits, only a blue pitched.
But then the Rampant Growth fully resolves, right? And there was nothing to amp, I suppose.
Possibly.
So it would have had to have discarded the fruits prior to even playing the Rampant Growth.
Everbloom Life coming back round again. A solid start for the turn, to be honest. You know, threatening the 1 Arcane. It's a bit like starting with Sergeant Aether Tide. You may be trying to bait your opponent into a being so you can present a large physical attack.
Wonder what Ryan's target's going to be here. Maybe another E-Strike. Going to start cycling those Everbloom Lives back round. The infinite Everbloom cycle.
It's just free value.
free cards in deck. I've been playing a bit of boost puffing lately, and I would love a card that said I could keep putting my cards back in deck. That's for sure.
Oh, and there's the second healing pot, third of the game to hit the board.
Really nice turn here for Ryan. I imagine not so fussed that the waning moon could be mitigated. It just means that he gets to put a heartbeat of Candlehold back into the deck, I suppose.
And fourth healing pot hits the board. Guillermo IPs 3 cards.
It's
a nail
we
biter.
We are swinging back and forth with these healing pots now.
This card has stayed in Guillermo's arsenal for a long time. I wonder if it is a tech card like Arcane Compliance or something similar. I mean, knowing when to arsenal these sort of mirror breakers is another skill. The mirrors and Fab are notoriously, I'd say, hard to pilot a lot of the time.
Yeah, for sure. Brian and Guillermo not A-being the first Verdance ping on that fruit. So Ryan's has healed 5 here already, right? Will of Arcana going to be hitting the pitch stack for Guillermo.
Now, that is a
Amping
card
1.
you don't see often, I'd say, in Verdance decks.
This is maybe sort of telling the tale that Guillermo is fully in on this combo deck.
Yeah. It is, of course, more important for Ryan's health to be higher than Guillermo's in this matchup because we're expecting Guillermo's combo to be significantly more damage. Oh, and the third potion hitting the board for Ryan there.
I was really hoping that was going to be a felling of the crown there. That would have been absolutely backbreaking right after the investment already from Guillermo. But I'm sure Ryan's happy to be establishing a potion anyway.
I feel like surely we're going to see another potion. Oh, Alluvian Constellus cashed in. Now that is interesting because Guillermo still has a lot of cards in hand. So cashing in Constellus here must mean there's a way to utilise the rest of the hand.
Ryan calling the bluff here, pitching a red.
Oh, the healing potion.
And it looks like he's called it perfectly. I was about to say we are on equal permanence with the ring of roses and the 2 healing pots matching the 3 pots on Ryan's side, but now Guillermo pulls ahead once again in the permanent race.
It's like watching an Enigma mirror. Oh my god, they're at parity again.
We need a little tracker on board, don't we, just to see how many. I don't think either player is willing to let the other have the lead on permanence for more than half a turn cycle.
So we are at 2 healing pots for Ryan, the amulet.
And the amulet,
yeah. So we're both players still looking for their final potion, unless Guillermo isn't on the amulet, which I suppose is possible.
You'd assume, being on Will of Arcana and Surgeon Aethertide, that you are fully invested, and you would expect to see the Punamo amulet in the deck as well, wouldn't you?
The only other notable thing, I guess, is that there are 2 rampant growths in Guillermo's bin, and only 1 in Ryan's, I believe.
Yeah, true. The Verdance Mirror, a matchup that we've spoken to Ryan a little bit about, and he's sort of alluded to us that he's not super comfortable with this matchup. He said that he'd love to get more practice in this matchup, and I'm sure when he saw his his matchup in round 6 here, he was happy to get the rep in.
Yeah, as I said before, mirrors and Fab tend to be either very swingy or very, very complicated.
The Verdance Mirror tends to be one that rewards those reps. And the first Burn Bear here from Guillermo, going to be pitching a Root Bound back to the bottom.
And a Heartbeat. Interesting stuff. So this time, no cash in on the Surgeon Aethertide. I mean, Ryan has AB'd it every time. Maybe Guillermo thinks it's just not worth the time. Don't let him be too efficient with the old AB4.
Yep. And we are going to get a Ring of Roses trigger here because of... I think, did we miss a life there potentially on Ryan? Should be at 33, I believe.
Now, what is that card in Ryan's pitch stack there? Well,
it's a something life, that's for sure.
And then what was the card on top? Something Japanese, I think. I didn't
quite catch it. I'm starting to lose track of fellings and plows and burn bears resolved on each side. I believe this is Ryan's second.
I would not hedge at this point. We know that Guillermo's played all three. Ryan's
Yeah.
definitely played one. Ryan's
Yeah.
definitely played all three burn bears, or I believe one was blocked with. Guillermo's played one burn bear. I've seen a
Yeah.
heartbeat in both graveyards. It is not the easiest thing to track.
No, 100%. And a webcam tournament such as this is not the type of event that you can just reach over the table and have a flick through your opponent's graveyard.
Yeah, it's very tricky. If at the start I was playing Marlon into a gravy, and when you have to go, can you show me your graveyard when they're attacking? Like, I don't have sunken treasure, I promise.
So Guillermo keeping one card here,
Ooh.
and I was just about to say the best one card play for him here probably is that amulet, and that Arsenal card remains there, and I wonder how much Ryan has noticed that as well.
This card must be arcane compliance. Ryan must be desperate to resolve a plow under.
Yeah, itching for the plow.
I can't imagine. I mean, it would make sense, right? If Guillermo is all in on this combo, to also be respecting the combo fully, right? Which would it would make sense for the arcane compliance inclusion. Oh my goodness, and we're at parity again on the potions. There is a note here, right, which is that should Ryan be waning mooning after playing these potions? Obviously, he may need to clear a blue out of his hand, but if he doesn't, is it not just giving Guillermo free counters? Oh, he discarded an arcane twinning here to amper the waning moon ping.
And I wonder if the consideration is just that if you don't waning moon, then you just sit with the same cards in your hand all game, right? And you never find those combo pieces. Much slower to get through the deck if that's the case.
Now, of course, forcing Guillermo to pitch here does make this E-Strike play look a lot worse. Yep, just coming in for 7, IPing a card. I am so confident in my call of arcane compliance here.
Yeah. So Guillermo had the root bound on the felling in the previous turn, and Ryan. Arsenal's a sink below, which is an incredibly brave play in this matchup, I feel.
Sink below at this stage in the game when all of the permanents have been resolved. That is insane. Wild plays.
Yeah.
Oh, and a fruit's discarded for Guillermo, going back up to 25.
So full cover on the E-Strike, but a Verdance trigger here to... Let's see what Ryan decides to do.
And of course, every Verdance ping now is threatening Ring of Roses on both sides, so it really does. It is cascading. Yeah. Oh, he takes it.
Big value swing here for Guillermo. The life totals are just closing again.
Yeah. Ryan holding one card?
Right. Ryan potentially very happy to to empty that sink below out of the arsenal after a few turns.
And a plow under. So if that is the arcane compliance, which again you've got to think that I can't imagine what else it could be. That
does incentivize Ryan to combo pretty quick here now, though, right? Without don't want to see those come back round again.
But we know that Ryan will draw his rampant growths before that arcane compliance will come around.
True.
Is Guillermo going to return a plow under? You've got to think that Ryan's looking to Arsenal a combo piece here. Oh, Autumn's Touch going in, doing the best thing they can do as an Earth hero.
Absolutely premium card in the Verdance deck. Autumn's Touch blue.
Yep.
Can't ask for much better, can you, really? Ryan gesturing towards his pots and reorganizing them. Wonder if it's a board state thing or he's putting them in a position to crack them a bit easier.
Wizards and their potions. Position matters. Yeah. Aesthetic matters.
Potion shop wizard. The board state class that wizard is.
Yeah.
Can't really see Ryan's deck count from the camera position here, but Guillermo's just looking quite a bit thinner now. The cards that matter, however, still in the deck.
Ryan accepting and it is a plow under. So if that was a combo piece by Ryan, that is That is not what you want to see, because now your combo piece is totally in line with that arcane compliance.
Also, not what you want to see if that card going to the bottom was another Arsenal sink below.
There's no way. No way that's a sink below. Now, this matchup, of course, the Verdance Mirror, I'm noticing that on Guillermo's side we've got the white bordered equipment suite, and on Ryan's we don't. I think this is going to finally answer that question of what's better.
Is flesh and blood pay to win?
Yes.
However, this Surgeon Aethertide is marvelled.
Oh,
so
yeah, that's true. And the Ring of Roses is cold foil.
Ryan full takes the plough under here,
Yeah.
down to 24. So bouncing back down in life.
Again,
Keeping a full grip.
Ryan's got to feel some pressure from the fully established board and the Surgeon Aethertide, you know.
Definitely.
That is threatening a lot more than the Waning Moon is. Oh, we see a felling. That is the final felling in this game, unless any get plumed. Is it going to be a vanilla felling, or is it going to be accompanied? Oh, there's the fruits. Of course, there are style points if you fruits in response to your own decompose trigger. So Ryan missing a bit of aura value.
Yeah. Guillermo thinking on this Verdance ping. Again, Ring of Roses making every ping more impactful. I was going to say, I thought Ryan had a full grip here, so the felling not ideal, but if you've got a couple of fruits to discard, then can't be upset about that.
And the mind game's so real because, of course, Ryan's already flashed that felling, so Guillermo knows what's coming. Oh,
Ryan is going to be.
Mm.
Ryan is going to be bottoming that card in his hand.
Yeah, down it goes. Now we know that Guillermo's going to take at least some damage here. Because
how important do you believe Metacarpus Node to be in this matchup? Is it there for that arcane barrier, or do you think there's a big use case for the effect?
I think it is there as a piece of AB. I will say it's more. I think it's active. It's more impactful for Ryan than it is Guillermo, because Guillermo's going to have a much higher range with the Surgeon Aethertide anyway. So. True. For Ryan, it may be more impactful. We are seeing the Everbloom cycled for. Oh no,
it's
no,
going to be
blocked with. Sorry, yeah, they're a little out of sync. Yeah, I would say the Metacarpus may be activated for Ryan on the kill turn. I mean, of course, the same can be said for Guillermo. It's a lot more efficient for Ryan because of Waning Moon.
Do we think, like I say, potential for Ryan to maybe complete his kill on the opponent's turn might make Metacarpus slightly better?
Yeah, I would say so. It gives your ceiling on the opponent. It makes the ceiling on the opponent's turn higher for sure. It is funny seeing these scours make their way around the decks. Just a complete blue block 3.
Yeah, 100%. I wonder if Ryan has found himself with a... it looks... I was just about to say, I wonder if Ryan has found himself in a position where he is just looking at 4 do-nothing blues that he pitched earlier.
And scour Ring of Roses. There we go. I said it didn't do anything. That is really shameful, actually, that I said it doesn't do anything and Ryan immediately proved me wrong.
Well, this is why Ryan is the Verdance player in this format, and you're playing Marlin, I guess.
So the Cadaverous Tilling, do you think the CNC is in this hand too? Because surely there aren't 2 Cadaverous Tillings
my goodness,
around in
the pitch deck. Thinking
So,
twice about it. I wonder if Guillermo's thinking about holding on to this CNC.
Amping for the Waning Moon. Coming in for 3.
Gonna ask for a full blue, perhaps. I wonder. Yeah.
There is the blue. That's a little bit of a shame, because Ryan is going to Arsenal and we are putting Guillermo on a CNC here.
Interesting that Ryan values that twinning.
No Arsenal.
Reads it perfectly, perhaps.
Wow. Has he tracked that, or is it a mental block? But you would pitch it, right? So Aether Tide. Is this one going to get AB'd? Of course, the CNC might not be in this hand, and it might be us or me that is just wrong.
Could be the pitch deck could be broken by a card, right? The TNC could be on top of the
So
deck, perhaps.
what is that card that's been pitched there?
I think it's this round's on me, perhaps.
It's a blue attack, I'm sure.
Oh, Rowdy Locals. Were they on Rowdy Locals at one point?
I don't think so, but I've genuinely no idea what that card is.
Ryan going to full take this Command and Conquer here. It was what we thought it was.
Yeah. Guillermo probably very happy to escape that pitch stacked hand. It's not a nice hand to draw, right? The only other thing that's going to be coming up in Guillermo's pitch stack that I'm aware of is a Rootbound Carapace at some point.
Ryan probably feeling pretty good about scouring the Ring of Roses there, getting to that Sergeant Aether Tide ping from the last turn, even though Abede wasn't presenting quite as much of a threat. And now we see Heartbeat of Candlehold, one of the most powerful cards in Verdance at this stage of the game. A blue 1-for-6 go again.
On another Cadaverous Tomb, there were 2 in the stack. This is interesting because Ryan does only have 1 card in hand. I was going to say this could be a combo turn. Now I'm going to say it definitely isn't. I don't know. Do you think Ryan could be looking to just do like a single Rampant Growth turn with these healing pots? It's probably not enough damage, right?
Potentially. Oh. Wow, the Plow Under and the... Are we going to see Eluvian Castellus cashed in here for the Waning Moon as well?
I mean, you'd expect so, right? It's such a high damage turn.
A really big swing turn, and another mystery Arsenal card going to the bottom for Guillermo. I wonder how much this is toying with his sculpted pitch deck.
Yeah.
6 damage at face. We know there's another 2 damage coming down with the Waning Moon as well. 1 resource floating for Guillermo, so not going to be able to fully mitigate this Waning Moon.
And it is more.
I'm sure Ryan would.
It's more than 2, right? Because Ring of Roses hasn't triggered yet. Everything's been
100%.
AB'd. Game's heating up.
We are reaching. We are reaching that critical point in the Verdance mirror where both heroes are going to have very thin decks and not a lot of cards left to resolve. Waning Moon coming in for 2 here. Going to be AB. Are we going to give it the last card as well? You'd be pretty happy if this connects if you're Ryan here.
I think that's a very heads-up play from Guillermo, to be honest. Holding that card, not getting the 3 defensive value out of it, but blocking the Arcane seems right, preventing Ryan's life from getting much higher. But
we'll see if Ryan
is passing back on a full hand. I wonder if there's... Do you ever Stormstriders here and just try and push 11 damage or something? I guess there's no Burn Bears, so you can't really.
Yeah. Ryan has got that free activation of Waning Moon in the tank still after that previous use of Eluvian Castellus. Going to go checking the graveyard.
It is this Wizard Mirror where you can't pop the Stormstriders early, right? Because you will just get shredded by your opponent's counter combo.
Yeah. No Aether Wildfires to be playing with here, not amping both players' spells. Fortunately, E-Strike, just what you'd like to see at this stage of the game, I'm sure. Let's see if it's a go again E-Strike.
It is not. IPing 2 cards. I wonder if one of them's the Rampant Growth. Or is it 1 card? Sorry.
I think it is 2 cards.
No, it must be, right? Because Guillermo just passed back.
Yeah. You'd love to see that Rootbound come back round in the stack, right? If you're Guillermo in this game, in this turn cycle.
I mean, it is soon, but maybe not this soon. God, tracking stacks is much easier when you're not playing Fab.
Yeah, definitely. We are not looking at an additional 4 cards in the hand every turn, as well as the cards going to the pitch stack.
Mental Block, obviously, another way of potentially A being 6.
Guillermo may be hoping to get back round to that Arcane Compliance that we suspect was bottomed quicker with this Ponder token.
Again, if what I predicted actually happened, where the Arcane Compliance was ploughed and then the Rampant Growth Life was ploughed, that is just a mean set of things to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's the Will of Arcana. The Surgeon Aethertide's coming in for 2. Ryan's AB'd every one of these. Surely this one is AB'd too. It's twice as much value. It's twice as much value. Yeah, there we go.
So Fabled's in the deck for Guillermo, but neither player having shown us a Heartfinder, which we do see in Verdance decks every now and again.
Yeah.
Destructive Aethertide for 1 here. Not choosing to Arsenal that card because we've got the Ponder.
Yeah. Pretty good to get that out of the way, I'd say. The only thing Guillermo needs to worry about is having a single source of arcane damage for the combo turn.
And the top card was sufficient enough to Arsenal, so no Autumn's touches hitting the Arsenal there, I can't imagine.
Probably not. Ryan has resolved... Oh, there's the right token. Thank God Ryan has one. Now, it's interesting because Ryan has resolved, 4 Everbloom lives? Or at least 3, right? Where I don't think Guillermo's resolved any. I have no idea if it matters or not in this matchup. But it is...
Feels like a little 0 for 2 go again type of card, right? Which is kind of infinite. Makes blue 100 wins look terrible.
Oh, and there's that root bound. A being 1.
Going back into the deck.
Again, Ryan must be pretty happy to see that. Everbloom life cycled. I will say I would be nervous as Ryan here. The life total does not feel high enough, and if you do have a turn where you stumble, there's that card again. What is it?
I think it's a Rowdy Locals. Maybe trying to keep Guillermo off of a big enough hand to combo here, but I'm sure if Guillermo has it, he's willing to eat some damage to resolve it.
All Verdance pings mitigated.
Maybe.
Will the Waning Moon be mitigated too? Again, imagine if that Rootbound Carapace had been a blue. It's a big difference.
Yeah, 100%. A whole extra card.
I am absolutely bamboozled by this card in Ryan's pitch stack. I have no idea what it is, and I'm going to obsess about it until the end of this cast, I think.
Well, I can take the mic for a minute if you like. If you want to go DM him and ask him what card he was playing.
Yeah. I've no idea. There's no item destruction attack, right?
No. And the Waning Moon going to connect here, so Ring of Roses triggering as well. Ryan gaining a big difference in this life total now, but maybe Guillermo just not particularly fussed, knowing that he has the much higher reach on his combo hand.
And
Plow under.
Plow. Pitching a Heartbeat, so Guillermo going for the 4th cycle.
And Guillermo going to be bottoming his own Arsenal card here now, which was what we drew off the Ponder, so maybe it is an Autumn's Touch.
Oh, Ryan having 2 cards that have life in his hand there. Has Guillermo called him on a load of no blocks? And is it a hand with 2 Rampant Growths?
So who do you think is looking to pull the trigger sooner here, or do you think we're just going to continue trading backwards and forwards until both players are effectively down to like 8 to 12 cards left in the deck?
Personally, I think Ryan should pull the trigger first, right? Because Guillermo still has enough life total to be comfortable. And the real problem is that obviously you want to Stormstriders kill Guillermo once he's emptied his hand. But when he'll have emptied his hand, he'll have healed 8 with the potions.
Yeah.
So I think Ryan should be trying to put him in a situation where it's do or die.
Like you say, that's one thing we don't think about as much with these Verdance combo hands, right? It's not just the hand that kills you, but if it doesn't kill you, they also increase their life total so much that you may struggle to find that reach. So Ryan going up to 36, cracking all of these potions, maybe gets him out of the range from Guillermo, but Guillermo going up to 22 definitely having a big impact on getting out of the range from Ryan.
What do you think about this decision to not play life here, because we do have 3 counters on the Illuvian Constellus, and life does equate to, you know, a whole Verdance ping here. And obviously,
Yeah,
4 plus 1 plus 2 is more than 2 blues, although Guillermo full taking.
So Ryan getting the rampant growth. Sorry, the life effect basically anyway, because of the Ring of Roses.
Now I would be scared here. This is a scary thing for Guillermo to just ignore this amount of arcane damage.
If you had light up the leaves available to you as Ryan, you'd be hoping you were drawing one, but looks like Guillermo is going to pull the trigger here. What does Ryan have to say about it?
Poison the well ×4.
And he's going to start letting these amulets resolve. We're going to have some Verdance pings go on the stack here. And Ryan is going to begin Arcane Barrier ing.
Now,
leaving Constellus up to 4.
You want to AB these Verdance pings to a point, right? But there is no Ring of Roses on Guillermo's side, and you do need to make sure that you fully mitigate the Surgent Aethertide. So, as long as Ryan's willing to fully commit his hand to this, it should be fine. But if the Surgent Aethertide, you know, if there aren't enough cards to a red Rootbound Carapace in the hand Guillermo's popping off, that is tough.
Not what you want to see, but Guillermo going to be cracking Plume here, not showing a Rampant Growth life prior. So wonder if it's a single Rampant Growth. I'm sure that's unlikely. Currently have healed 9 after this life side resolves.
Yeah. So we could be expecting
still looking at
20.
4 cards. Yeah, still looking at 4 cards here in the hand for Guillermo. I wonder if there's a Heartbeat of Candlehold in there as well.
Doesn't
First
like
Rampant Growth life.
So this life
resolve the
brings
life
us
side.
up to 9 total. Is there a second Rampant?
And Ryan going to continue to AB.
This feels very dicey. So that is an amp for 20 once these 2 Rampant Growths resolve. Surgent Aethertide will come in for 21. That's big. Brian,
And if we have a spell here, I'm assuming we do. Guillermo potentially having noticed the perfect turn cycle to go off here, and Ryan with the E strike, the 2 red hand. Deary me. So this was a Aethertide for 21.
20.
Did you say?
Yep. 20 into 26.
And a Burn Bear. That's going to be the game. Ryan dying with the pots on board. Maybe just that turn or two too late to get that combo going.
Oh my goodness! And Arcane Compliance is
next
the top
card
of the Verdance deck. Wow. And that
is so unfortunate. One potentially. Did we see Ryan on mental block in that game? One more card draw throughout that game may have got him round there.
Maybe, I'm not sure, but yeah, wow, what a finish! That is really impressive, and we didn't get to see if Guillermo had an Arcane Compliance ready for Ryan's combo.
I'm gonna guess that he did. Seeing now that Ryan had it, I'm gonna hedge that he did.
Yep, and anyone who can work out what that attack was in Ryan's deck, 1,000,000 points if you post it in the comment section.
Yeah. But guys, thanks for joining us for this. I guess, hey, it was a long game, but a really well-navigated game by both players. So congratulations to Guillermo for winning this one. Heading into the top 8, I'm going to imagine. I think these guys had some pretty good scores going into round 6, so congratulations to him. Thanks for joining us at the on the TLTMN, and we'll catch you next time.